Welcome this evening with Imtiaz Mir. There is a tough neck-to-neck presidential election in American history since a long time. This election is the very deadliest election in America. My guest is very senior journalist, senior anchor. He's from USA, New York based, Mr. Shoukat Zardari. I welcome you in my talk show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mir.
There is a political divide in America. Kamala Harris is enough liberal and progressive. Donald Trump is enough conservative. What would you say?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mir, for taking me on this very important issue of the U.S. elections. First of all, we need to understand the U.S. society. The American people are more concerned over their economic problems, and especially, as the new wave of inflation is going on in the world, the same is happening in America as well. American public is also struck by the inflation, and people are really unhappy. And as compared to Kamala and Donald Trump, Trump has stayed as a president and he has world exposure as compared to Kamala Harris. She has a very little contribution as a vice president in the role. But as a charismatic lady, she has her nomination has definitely attracted the silent Democratic Party voters. And as we saw, the day she was nominated as a replacing candidate for Mr. Joe Biden, there was a huge fundraising for her, and people are very much positive about her. But looking at the 4-year rule of Democratic government, especially President Biden, I don't think many Americans are happy with the Democrats at this time, keeping in mind the economy, keeping in mind the inflation, keeping in mind the jobless claims coming up every week, and they are in increasing numbers. And Mr. Mead, let me tell you, there are many businesses who have ran out of the shore. And many, especially if we look at the small business owners, many people are shutting down their business because of inflation and because of the affordability and purchasing power of the American people, which has weakened. And that's why Federal Reserve is also deciding to cut the interest rates, as markets should see a correction and there should be a little bit decline in the inflation. So overall, we saw there was a tight fight going on, tight political fight going on for the presidential elections. But if you remember, a month ago, there was an assassination attempt on President Trump. That has really brought a huge sympathy towards the Republicans. And now everybody is vouching on the upcoming presidential debate. And Republicans are afraid that if Kamala Harris takes on Donald Trump in the debate, he might not avoid personal attacks. And that could be a negative thing for Donald Trump and his party.
Mr. Zardari, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris face some major challenges in America.
Yeah, to be very frank, if we see now the people of United States have stayed divided because of Donald Trump's conservative policies and Donald Trump's conservative political standing. But at the same time, people who are living in other parts of the world, they must understand that elections in the United States are not like elections in Pakistan. In the United States, people vote on the performance. And as I said earlier, performance-wise, President Biden has stayed as the weak president of the United States. And President Biden has actually, people of America think that Biden has basically taken the America down, and it's time for Republicans to come back in power and take the America, because Donald Trump is liked by people. He is not a war-mongering guy. He doesn't like war. He don't want to fight anyone's war. Like, he don't want to fight war in Syria. He don't want to fight war in Iraq. He didn't want to fight war in Afghanistan because he believes that he's fighting other people's war on American people's money, which he doesn't like. And he's more a business-friendly guy. He's considered more business-friendly guy. And that's why we saw in his 4 years, there was a growth in economy, there were new jobs coming up, and economy was getting better. But when the Democrats come, because of their liberal and social policies, they provide a lot to people who are not working. For suppose In Pakistan, you have Ehsaas Kifalat program. Same like here, they have electronic benefits, unemployment benefits. People get food cards and people get stamps and everything. When it comes to Democrats extend that circle a lot, and that's why many people don't want to work because it's a human nature. If you get everything for free, you won't work. Trump is of the mind that we must bring our people to work, and they should work hard and they should contribute in economy. So economy wise, Trump's statement and Trump's overall manifesto is being sold well. But when it comes to international politics, international relations, international wars, definitely Democrats have their mature standing on that. So Kamala and Trump first have to fight the war on home ground for winning the elections. And then it would come. And another thing I would like to add here that in coming days, U.S. might face a recession, and people know that there's a recession coming up. So that also is favoring Trump because they think a business tycoon can tackle the recession very well rather than a lady who has never been a president, has no international exposure other than being the vice president and a little bit contribution in the political system. So I see I see Trump has more positive attraction towards public, but I still, like me, many Americans are waiting for tomorrow's debate. Tomorrow there's going to be a big presidential debate,
Yes.
and yes, Donald Trump's overall manifesto will decide the upcoming discourse of the election. Because if Donald Trump revises the same attitude of personal attacks on the Kamala Harris, that would definitely hurt many Americans who want to support Kamala Harris, and that would definitely bring a negative impact on Donald Trump's personality and his vote bank, because no matter how politically people are chanting and thinking, but in American society, self-respect is very important, and people don't go personal on professional matters or political matters.
Mr. Zardari, Trump and Harris, then in a tight presidential election, but there is a little bit confusion. Before election, there is a lot of polls and surveys. Election will decide in a battlegrounds, and then swing states will decide, and swing states outcome will be final. Who will be winner?
Definitely, if you look at the last presidential elections, like Florida still has like the Republican governor. Same goes to the California. California is a big state, and it has, I think, more than 50 electoral votes. So that matters a lot. But Mr. Mir, slowly and gradually, what we are seeing, especially on the surveys, don't think America is somewhere on Mars or somewhere on Jupiter or on other planet. Human psyche is same everywhere.
Yes.
Like in Pakistan, we saw many surveys favoring PTI. We saw surveys favoring PMLN or People's Party. Same is here. In America, it is very easy to get paid surveys. And especially, there's a huge divide in media. The liberal media doesn't like Donald Trump. So all surveys coming on liberal media are anti-Trump surveys. And they would show you that Kamala Harris is in good position. But if you look at the neutral surveys, in some points, Donald Trump has led Kamala Harris, and in some points, Kamala Harris has led Donald Trump. So coming to the swing states are always unpredictable. But right now, I won't say that who is gonna be in the presidency, but situation is favoring more Trump. And as I mentioned earlier, that after the assassination attempt on Trump, that has really thrown a huge impact. And that was the reason which put President Biden behind. After the presidential debate, when Mr. Biden flattered a lot and couldn't face Trump properly, the Democrats decided that they saw the defeat coming. So now with Kamala Harris, within the Democrats, there are still, some people say like, it's a lady luck that has bestowed Kamala Harris, and Biden went away and Kamala Harris came, because that was not planned. But Biden saw his defeat coming, and he didn't want to stay, and he just moved on. And then he bring Kamala Harris to the front, and she has to work more hard. She has to work really hard to defeat a candidate like Donald Trump.
Mr. Shoukat, thank you very much for your valuable insights. Take care until next show.